Welcome back to Pin 87. My name's Stefan, and today we're going to look at relay testers. We showed you in the first video how to test relays manually. Well, there's an automatic solution that's a lot easier. Let's check it out. Let's get right into it. We've got the Sound Troubleshooting brand tester here. We've got the Matco tester here. And I've got an 80 amp relay here. And as you can see, there is nowhere that these can be tested on these. Well, this video is going just fantastic. Alright, we calmed down a little bit. Now we're back. Let's see how these things work. I've got them powered up off screen. They're just hooked to a 12 volt power source. And here's some regular Bosch style minis. And let's see here. Connector feels pretty good on that one. This one feels really good. Let's make sure we're on 5 pin. Hit test. And the relay's good. That's it. That's how fast it tests it. And then this one, make sure we're on 5 pin. On the Matco, you do have to hold the button down the entire time, which is not really a problem, but is an interesting difference. And it tests good as well. Both these are known good relays. They're brand new. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of like the single button press for the Sound Troubleshooting brand one. It's pretty cool. So now that we saw how they work, let's see a known bad relay in each one, just see what it looks like. I put that dude in there, hit the button, boom, immediate. Alright, makes sense, it's red. Let's try it in the Matco one. Same thing, blinky red instead of solid red, whatever. I think they're both clear indicators of something being bad. So far, they work identically. The question you might have is, what are all these other holes for? So glad you asked. We explored the mini relays in the first video. You've got the quote-unquote 80 amp mini relay with the large terminals. You've got the large size Japanese and small size Japanese old school relays that don't really have appropriate names. You got the 4 and 5 pin micros with full size terminals. You got the 5 pin and 4 pin mini 280s. You've got the micro 280s. And of course you've got the ultra micro 280. Now let's take a look at the Sound Troubleshooting tester. It tests 4 relay formats, including the Ultra Micro 280. The Sound Troubleshooting one doesn't come with a case. It's just in a cardboard box, got a set of instructions. Something it does come with, which is pretty cool, is little relay pliers. These are super cheap anyways, but it is kind of cool that it just comes with it. The idea is, here, let's plug a relay into it. If it was in a fuse box and it's all surrounded with other relays, as these micros often are, stacked right up against each other, they can be hard to pull out with pliers. You just can grab onto them like this and just lift it straight up. Pretty simple tool. You can unplug, every type of relay, obviously. Kind of a cool thing. It comes with it. Also, I just recommend having these in your toolbox anyways. It's much better than using a pair of pliers and running the risk of, cracking the bodies, or the housings, I should say, on these things. Some of them have, I don't know if you'll be able to see that on camera, little indents even. and the tool actually fits the indents for the ones that do have them. But for the most part, you can just grab them from the base, like, you know, like that.
And here's a look at the Matco tester. It tests 3 relay formats.
Here's something we haven't talked about with the Matco. So it comes in this hard case. It's got a foam insert. The tester sits here, the cables roll up here, and then you've got all these adapters. And this is where this tool really shines. Remember that 80 amp relay that we couldn't test? Well, there she is, right? So, just plug it into the adapter. The adapter just plugs into the mini spot, and boom, there you go, you're testing. That's pretty cool. Remember that Ultra Micro 280 that we couldn't test? There she is. Right? Same situation. Just plugs in there. Boom. Tested. We've got another one that plugs in there for a 5-pin for a format that I haven't shown you yet. And you've got 3 more adapters. So this one is for a 280 pin. And the top is a 280 pin. You're probably thinking, what's up with that? Same here. A micro to micro. A mini to mini. Well, let me show you what those are for. So the reason for these straight pass-through type mini to mini, so to speak, is relays with shrouds on them. These are for connectors like this that have a seal on the back side with the wires and this seal for the shroud. They plug in and they're liquid tight, debris tight, etc. But you can't test them, obviously, the pins won't reach. So what you do is plug in the adapter and then plug that in. Just makes sense, right? So they give you one for all the common relays, and obviously if these were shrouded they would do the same thing. And I don't know if it's the intention, but something else you can do is pretend this is the actual fuse box of the vehicle. You can have one plugged in. Oops, come on. You can have one plugged in to give you some standoff room. You can do your troubleshooting up here. If you're in a tight fuse box situation and the adapter can physically fit in there, I highly recommend using it in that capacity. It just gives you some space to get away from all the other relays and fuses and whatnot. Get you up here. You can work up here much easier. I've done it a few times. It seems to work great. I don't know if there's a ampacity rating for this, and I've never opened one, but I imagine the pins are essentially just straight through. As long as you don't do anything too crazy, you'll probably be just fine. Well, as always, thanks for watching the video, guys. Which tester's better? It just depends on what you need it to do. This one is 100% great for a DIY type situation. You might only test a few relays in your life. Most of them just common, or if these are the only relay formats you use on your builds, this is perfect. That's all you need. If you're a professional automotive technician like myself, you work on all makes, all models, and you're going to test all kinds of relays, clear choice. You've got all the adapters, you've got all that. Neither one does everything, so to speak, but the Matco one does do a lot more. Like I said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.